They called him the dating game killer, but that name doesn't come close to describing the evil hiding behind his smile. Rodney Alcala wasn't just a murderer. He was a manipulator, a predator, a sadist with a camera, and for years, no one knew what he really was. It all began in 1968. Rodney Alcala was a 25-year-old UCLA student with a promising future. He was smart, had an IQ over 130, and studied under Roman Polanski at NYU's film school. But beneath that polished exterior was something rotten, something cruel. That year, he lured 8-year-old Tali Shapiro into his car in Los Angeles. He told her he wanted to show her a cool poster, but what he did instead was horrifying. A passerby witnessed the kidnapping and called police. When officers arrived at Alcala's apartment, they found Tali, barely alive, raped, beaten, strangled with a metal bar. Alcala had fled, out the back door, into the night, and he wouldn't be seen again for years. He changed his name to John Berger and escaped to New York. He enrolled in film school and started rebuilding his life, while quietly stalking victims for a time. He worked as a counselor at a summer camp for girls. Yes, a child predator, working with children. No one knew who he really was. By the time he was finally caught and sent back to California in the early 70s, the system failed again. He served less than 3 years in prison, and he was out, free to hunt again, and this time, he got bolder. Rodney Alcala had a trick. He posed as a photographer, walking around with a camera, telling women and girls they were beautiful, that he was building a portfolio. Some felt flattered, others were cautious, but many said yes. He took hundreds, maybe thousands, of photos. Some of his victims were never seen again. He had a type, young, vulnerable, trusting, and he didn't just kill them. He tortured them, played with them, strangled them until they passed out, then let them breathe, then strangled them again, over and over, until he decided they were no longer fun. And then, somehow, he ended up on national television in 1978. Alcala appeared on The Dating Game, a light-hearted show where a woman picked from 3 eligible bachelors. Rodney was bachelor number 1. You can still find the footage. He's smiling, flirty, cocky. When asked what the perfect date would be, he replied, "We go to your house, and you give me a massage." The audience laughed. The Bachelorette, Cheryl Bradshaw, chose him, but after the show, she said something felt off. He gave her the creeps. She never went on the date. It probably saved her life. Less than a year later, in 1979, a 12-year-old girl named Robin Samso went missing on her way to ballet class. Her body was found weeks later in the foothills of Los Angeles. Witnesses said they saw a man taking photos of her at the beach. That man was Rodney Alcala. When police searched a storage locker linked to him, they uncovered a terrifying collection, over 1,000 photographs. Some were innocent portraits, others weren't. Some showed fear, some showed pain, and some looked like they were taken just moments before death. They also found jewelry, trophies, belongings of women and girls no longer alive. In 1980, Alcala was finally arrested and sentenced to death for Robin Samso's murder. But legal delays and retrials stretched the case over decades. He was tried again in 1986, again in 2003. It wasn't until 2010 that he was finally convicted of 5 murders, including 2 in New York. But investigators believe he killed many more, possibly dozens, maybe over 100. In court, he acted as his own lawyer. He cross-examined witnesses, made jokes, even played a portion of Alice's restaurant during his defense. It was surreal, like he saw it all as a game, a show, a performance. To this day, police have never identified all the people in his photos. Some families have come forward, recognizing long-lost loved ones, but others remain nameless. Were they victims, or just lucky enough to escape? No one knows, and maybe we never will. Rodney Alcala died in prison in 2021. He was 77. He never confessed, never apologized, and never revealed how many lives he destroyed. But one thing is certain, he didn't look like a monster. He smiled, he charmed, he blended in, and maybe that's the most terrifying part of all, because the most dangerous people don't look dangerous at all.